So Claire, welcome back to Horsens.
Thank you.
We met last year here.
Yes.
And first of all, I'd like to know what life has been like for you since your debut.
Well, it's been a busy year.
Right.
Amazing. It's bizarre because I came here last year. My book was brand new. Nobody had read it. Obviously, no one had heard of me. And then this year is something quite different. So since then, I Let You Go has become a bestseller in so many countries. It's published in 33 languages now. We've sold more than 1 million copies. And I've spent the last year writing and travelling, going to lots of different countries. I've been on tour in the United States. I've just come back from Paris. I'm going to Holland tomorrow. So I'm all over the place and I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely love it. I feel very lucky to be able to do what I love doing and have that as my job.
Did you have any idea that it would turn into that? I mean, when you wrote it?
No, not at all. I hoped that it would sell enough copies that my second book would then sell as well, and that things would just build gradually.
Yeah.
But I never expected my debut to do so well.
And what did that do to you in terms of writing your next book? I mean, was there lots of pressure?
Yeah, it was really hard, and I had a number of weeks where actually I couldn't write anything at all. I just felt paralysed by the pressure of writing another bestseller. And eventually I just had to put that thought to one side and just tell myself, look, I'm going to write the best book that I can.
Right.
And so I did. And actually once I'd done that and I'd relaxed, I was much, it came easily, and I'm proud of this book. It's, in many ways it's better written than my first book. I've learned so much about writing.
So tell us a little bit about I See You. I
See You. So it's a book about routine and the way that we are creatures of habit. We like to do the same things every day. We like to take the same train. We like to cross the road at the same point. And we do that because routine is very familiar, it's very comforting. But the more comfortable we feel in our routines, the more dangerous that could be, because if you know what you do every day, then someone else knows it too. So this book starts with Zoe Walker, who is a very ordinary woman. She lives in the suburbs, she works in the city, she commutes in by train each day, she's got 2 grown-up children, and she is just doing her thing. And then one day she's looking through a newspaper, and at the back of the newspaper, in amongst all the adverts, is an advert with a photograph, and the photograph is of her. So of course she's perturbed, terrified, confused. She sets out to find out why it's there. No one really takes her seriously until another photograph appears with another woman, and this woman has been murdered. And so suddenly there's this terrifying link between women that are appearing in the newspapers and women who are being attacked.
And how did you come up with that idea?
Well, do you know, the idea for the book started when I went to London with a friend of mine who is one of these commuters who does exactly the same thing every day. And so I was watching her take me to London. I was watching the way she stood on the platform at exactly the same place so that the train doors would open at precisely where she was standing. And I started thinking about the risks that this presented. And then gradually just this sort of rather chilling idea for a plot emerged, and a particular mechanism. I don't want to say too much because I want readers to discover it for themselves, but a rather sinister type of mechanism for people to follow.
Right. And did you also think about this phenomenon that we're sort of living in a society where cameras everywhere, and I heard the other day that our mobiles are even, recording our conversations so that they can put adverts on Facebook and Google and so on. Was that part of it?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're so watched all the time, and sometimes that's fine. Being watched online can be useful because actually sometimes those adverts are targeted in a way that makes sense.
Right.
And CCTV cameras, we have a lot of them in England. They're all over the country, and they help prevent crime. They help detect crime once it's happened. But of course, all these elements of technology can be used for evil as well as good. And I think that's really interesting, because there's lots to explore then about where you cross that line.
And you say that I See You is more well written than the first one. Is it similar in that it has plot twists like the first one?
Yeah, it does, absolutely. It's similar in that they're both psychological thrillers. They're both what you might call sort of domestic thrillers, in that they're very much about the lives of people, women's lives, and women's paranoias and fears, as opposed to a sort of an action hero with lots of spy gadgets. But they've both got lots and lots of twists and turns, and I think you'll get halfway through this book and the suspect could be any one of 6 or 7 people, and then gradually you'll be able to say, okay, so it's not them, all right, it's not them, but it's you have to be a detective to be a reader, and readers are very clever nowadays. They're too clever. They make our job very hard because they're so good at investigating crime novels.
So what do? Do you have anyone who helps you create the plot, or is it?
No, that's my job.
Right.
Once I've finished writing the book, then my editor steps in, and then she gives me a much more objective view, and she'll say, okay, so that really works up until there, and then this section here is a bit slow, or this character doesn't feel real, and so she gives me all these sort of this guidance notes, and then I go and I write it again with her suggestions.
And has it been as well received as I Let You Go?
It has. It's been a #1 Sunday Times bestseller. So I'm very fortunate. That's both my books now that have gone to #1, and it's sold lots and lots all over the world already. So yeah, I'm really excited. And it's a huge relief that my second book has done as well as my first.
And now you're halfway through your #3?
Nearly halfway through #3.
And has the pressure lifted a bit?
No, it's just moved. It's just moved from. So before the pressure was, can I write a book as good as my first book? And now the pressure is, can I write a book as good as my second book? But I want that pressure. I want to always feel like I have to write a better book, because I want my books to get better and better and better.
And when will it be out? Do you know?
Next year sometime.
So hopefully this will be back in Horsens.
I hope so.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.